Hey YouTube, Red Quill here, and today I'll be continuing my vlog series on my Dead by Daylight fan comic. This time I'll be going over pages 3 and 4 of my Origin of Legion. So, starting off with page 3, in this page we have Frank meet Julie for the first time. And so I guess first I'll start off with my decision on the background. As you can see, it's mainly just gray and white backgrounds, but if you look at the top corner of the first panel, there's still a little bit of the blue from the last page. And what I'm trying to portray here is, so Frank was just really depressed being in the town of Orman just because he felt like he had nothing to do and was just wasting his life. And while Julie feels similarly, I wouldn't say from when I read the original story that she felt depressed, but rather just that she felt that she was beyond all of this. So I'm trying to show the fade out from how Frank sees the town with a light or a dark blue background, that Julie just sees everything as gray and colorless because she's really bored of the opportunity she has here. Likewise, when she's looking at the people of the town who really do enjoy her company, and that's why she becomes popular, when she stares back at them, she sees them as just fuzzed out, grayed out characters. And so that's kind of the slight difference between both Frank's and Julie's perspective of Orman. But as normal for the Legion's main characters, I'm continuing by using the lifeless skin tones for both Julie and Frank. And the only thing I try to put any detail in is their clothing. And I actually really like how Julie's clothes turned out, because I kind of had to just make up an outfit on the fly because I didn't want her to start out in her Legion outfit. So personally, this is actually probably one of my best random outfits I put together in a very short amount of time. As for how I drew Frank in the first panel, I was actually kind of a little disappointed how he turned out. If I had to redraw him, I would have used his normal color scheme. The reason I just used black and gray for his entire body was just to try and make the focus be on Julie, but I still needed him visible just to show the perspective of where Frank is and where Julie is and how he's actually able to see her for the first time. Personally, my favorite part of the page is the final panel. I think I was able to capture the emotions I think Julie would be feeling at this point in this story. From the way I see it, she should be both a little bit sad, but also kind of angry at the fact that she feels that she is better than the town she's living in, but she has no prospects of leaving. So that's why I'm trying to capture both a dead look in her eyes, but also kind of scrunching up her face just due to being constantly incontent and seeing everything she's looks at as being pretty much ugly in her eyes. All right, on to page 4. So for this page, I made minor modifications to the story because I felt that in the original lore, the relationship that Julie and Frank form is just kind of a little awkwardly explained. Like before, Julie just saw Frank as a means of getting out of the town of Orman, since he was originally an outsider. But the only thing that's really mentioned about why Frank was interested in Julie was just that he found her attractive. So I felt like it's just a missed opportunity for the fact that they both actually have kind of common goals of trying to improve their lives. And so I tried to make it where instead of just only being focused on Julie's looks, Frank actually sees Julie as a way of getting the social connections he needs to use his talent of charisma. On the first panel, the hardest part for me to draw is, and you might notice this in a lot of my drawings, is I really struggle with hands. And in the first panel, I'm actually trying to do a nice perspective shot with the hand, making it bigger than a lot of the other proportions of his body, or Frank's body. To suggest it's, again, closer to the reader. And I'm doing an awkward angle for drawing the hand, one that at least I'm not used to doing. So hopefully it came out okay. I think it's fine. I'll need to get better at my pen work and drawing smooth fingers, I guess, because I think his are a little crooked. But overall, I'm okay with how it turned out. It's definitely good practice for me, so in some ways it's kind of good I do panels that are difficult for me. It's actually kind of the whole purpose of this project, is so that I gain more experience making comics, so when I work on other projects, I won't struggle so much. So on the bottom panel of the page, I'm having to illustrate the party that Julie threw where Frank is going to meet the final two members of Legion. I have to be honest, I really hate any panels that require drawing a crowd of people, just because for me that's one of the hardest things to do. Because again, I have to design outfits for all these characters, hair designs, and I try to make them all look relatively unique. However, I really only focused on putting in a great detail on characters that are close to the reader relative to the panel. And then for characters that are meant to be further away, I tried to either just draw a silhouette and really just do suggestion that there's a character there and not really worry about a lot of the extra details. This is meant to be a time-saving feature because I'm trying to complete one page about every 3 days. And while that doesn't sound that difficult, I work a full-time job, so that takes almost all of my time entirely. So I usually get about an hour to 1 to 2 hours, I guess, when I get home to spend time on this project. All right, that's probably going to do it for this video. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want to remind everyone that there should be links in the description for both the original Dead by Daylight story and the webcomic. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.